Hey everybody, welcome back to Adventures in Old Fashions. I am currently kind of killing some time here in this yurt on the trail. Uh, Pretty cool place. It's growing on me. Initially, I stopped here just to kind of check it out. I figured, I'm passing by. I would feel bad if I didn't at least look at it. And while I was checking it out, a little storm system came up, so I rode that out. And by the time that passed, I was stuck with the dilemma of, well, do I try and push further? Daylight is, waning. More storm systems are. There's one coming in, another one, and there was one here a couple hours ago too. Um, the next section is really high and exposed and quite a distance to cover before I can get back into cover. And so I decided to make the smart call and just stay here the rest of the day, take kind of a half day. I've been sitting here at this, you guys, beating myself over and over again at solitaire and eating some pretzels and just rehydrating with some electrolyte drinks and just staring out that gorgeous view. So not a bad way to spend the afternoon. The sun's out, but as you can see, there's dark clouds on the horizon. So I think I made the smart call to ride it out here tonight. Get up early after a good night's sleep, and get up and over that mesa and back down tomorrow without having any issues, instead of getting caught up there in the middle, at dark and being really high and exposed. Plus, you really don't want to sleep any higher than you need to, just for altitude sickness reasons. Not that I've ever had any issues, but you never know, and they can happen at any time. So I think it was a good idea to sit down here. So I figured, well, while I got some time to kill, I should probably make some videos and kind of update you guys on what's going on. Because I think the last video update I made was up on San Luis Peak. And so I headed down from there, which is nice because I didn't have my pack. So it was really easy on the body, and I made good time getting back down. And then I was heading into Creede that night to restock. So I had passed a couple that were hiking up the peak on the way down, and the one guy commented on the gaiters that I have to keep the dust and dirt out of my shoes. I'll show them to you guys later. Basically, they got Tyrannosaurus Rexes in astronaut costumes, so he noticed them and commented on it. Well, it was kind of funny because then I get back down to the trail. I get up over a couple of saddles and a point where this West Willow Creek Trail branches off from the Colorado Trail, and that goes down into Creede. It's 10 miles off the trail. So I started heading on down this trail, and that same couple that I had passed as I was coming down the peak that they were just going up caught up to me at the bottom of this extra mile, and we're actually parked right at the 4x4 trailhead. They were the only car there, and I kind of asked them as they came down. I'm like, "Hey, is this the road into Creede?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, that car is going there if you want to ride." So I'm like, "Awesome, another win for the hitchhiking, right?" That was a give me. Didn't even have to stand there with my thumb out. They were in town for a wedding, and while they were here, we're doing some sightseeing. And I think they live in Montana now. Both of them worked at Glacier Park for a while, so I'm not exactly sure kind of what they're doing now. But we took the scenic route down, and they did some sightseeing, and I'm like, I'm in no hurry. I'm getting a free ride down to town and saving me 9 more miles of hiking. So I got into town. It was a little late. It was after 5. Creede, really neat little town. So I would like to go back and actually spend a day or two there during the summer season when everything's open. Because this late in the season, it's kind of like the Dells. The Dells, how it used to be before the indoor water parks. So a lot of shops are closed up. A lot of places close early. So the grocery store closed at 6. By the time I figured out where I was staying, I got a room at the Snowshoe Lodge. Great place to stay if you guys get a chance. Jennifer and Shane, the owners, are fantastic. Great home cooked breakfast in the morning is included. My only complaint was that it's an older motel, thin walls, and my neighbors were an old retired couple that got up at 5 in the morning, started showering, turned the TV on, running the hair dryer, talking loud because the hair dryer and the TV's on. So I didn't get the long restful night's sleep I was hoping for staying in a hotel. If I wanted to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I sleep on the ground, and that's about the time I start waking up because I can't tolerate it anymore. But anyway, so that night, I got settled in a hotel. It was too late to get to the grocery store and get, everything that I needed for my restock. But I went and ate at this place called Arps. Really nice, like mom and pop, diner kind of place. I'll post a video. They have like a hand painted mural all the way around, and the entire ceiling pretty much is all antler racks of elk made into like a chandelier. I'll put I took video of it. I asked them if it was all right, and so I'll put that on there too, so you guys can kind of see. Had the barbecue meatloaf, really good. The French fries and onion rings I got with it were really good too. But just real nice, quiet, little downtown cafe kind of place. So I went back to the hotel, did the laundry, got my shower, kind of cleaned up a bit, relaxed. Next morning, got up early, had the breakfast at the hotel, went to the grocery store just after they opened at 8, got what I needed, and then stopped by an outfitter place that's open. It's also a bar and a cafe and an outfitter. A lot of places are closed, and there's signs in these closed businesses that say, hey, we got a couple of our things at this other business that's still open, so you can get this and that there, even though we're closed for the season. See you in next summer, kind of a thing. So I got all situated, and I was trying to figure out a way to get a ride back up to that trail, because it's 10 miles from town and it's all uphill. He came down from basically the Continental Divide down into this, Creede, this old mining town that's kind of, nestled at the base of this canyon. And I was talking to Shane, and he's like, oh, just start walking. Somebody will pick you up. There's people going up there all the time, side-by-sides on the four-wheelers and 4x4s. And he goes, take this road. It's steeper, but it's shorter. And somebody will pick you up. Well, my hitchhiking luck ran out. Nobody picked me up. And I don't blame them, because really it's a big touristy area where they rent out, side-by-side UTVs. They're all full. There's nobody driving one of those by themselves. So there's no extra seat for me. So I get that. The other side is this canyon, this road is so steep. They recommend at a certain point that you don't even try it without a 4x4, because it's a gravel road. And if you stop, you won't get going again. The traction, you'll spin. I get it. A couple of trucks went by. Some of them were hauling trailers. I'm sure these people would have stopped if they could, but I don't blame them. They couldn't. It was a steep canyon going up through there. And then it leveled out. And then after it leveled out, there wasn't anything for people to see, so there wasn't anybody driving on the road. So I had to hike all the way back up those 10 miles to get back on trail. And then I was able to push out another 2.5 to get up and over the saddle, back down to a spot where I could camp. And for the 4th night in this whole trip of mine, over a month now, I actually shared a campsite with a guy older than me, from Germany, hiking the CDT. So in the place we stopped, it was just back into the trees, in the tree line. Nice big open area, plenty of room for all of us. And it was kind of funny. I was sitting there eating dinner, and it was dusk. It was you know, as usual for me, you know, dark. And this mule deer doe comes walking right at me. She stops. She does the little, you know, hide and seek thing that they bob up and down, you know, behind something. Must not have got too scared because she keeps walking 30 feet from me. If yeah, just walked right into camp, walked around. I just sat there, didn't do anything. You know, my ramen noodles were getting cold, but I just sat there. She wandered around and then just wandered back off. It was kind of the neatest thing. So that was my Creede resupply and the day after. So I'll kind of fill you guys in on the next segment in the next video, because apparently the longer these videos get, the less you guys watch them. So we'll catch up with you in a second.